Hello, hello, hello. I am live. Let's go to my camera view. Got some fun stuff here in my. Let's zoom out so you guys can see this a little better. Hi, Kathy. Welcome, welcome. I don't know if Janet's still streaming. I had to reboot my computer, so I had to leave her stream 10 minutes ago just to get everything organized here. Oh, let me link to Twitter. Oh. Oh, she's finished? Okay, thanks, Kathy. Thank you. I wasn't sure. Oops. Oops, sorry about that. I've got to mute my. Sorry, I clicked on something that was on Twitter from Eileen. Hey, Debbie. Hey, Dar. Hey, Beth. Just wait a few more minutes for people to realize I'm actually on time. Well, I was 2 minutes late, but for me, that's on time. For my streams, anyway. One moment, I'm just going to take an Advil to make sure my knees stay half decent, I hope. They've been good all week, but now the rainy weather's coming, or shouldn't say good all week. They were so bad all last week. And then I had a really good day yesterday, and I should have gotten so much done, but you know, you get a good knee day, you don't want to ruin it. So I just sat around and did stuff and napped and watched YouTube, listened to my audiobooks, did some photo editing. I still got stuff done, just not filling my shelves like I should have. But I did not want to fill my shelves until I got my third bookcase built, because that third bookcase is going to hold stuff that, because it's in my computer, and I'll still be able to reach it, but I'll have to stand up and reach behind my computer. So it's the third bookshelf's going to have stuff that I still want near me, but I don't grab for every day. Like, it's going to hold all my my filled journals, or the journals I'm not going to use all the time. Probably going to transfer my punches over here. I have one bin of punches, and it's across the room. And when I'm get back into some scrapbooking and mixed media, I'll use those punches more if I don't have to get up and get them. But I'm not going to need them every day. So I think they're going to go on the shelving unit behind my computer. Well, I didn't want to start all of this decision making where I want everything on my desk before I had that third shelf up. So it's all ready. It's out in the hall. So tonight, after my stream, what I hope to do is get it in place. Then tomorrow morning, I'm going to get my hair cut because I can't stand it. It's growing so fast, and I like pixie cut, and it's like almost down to my shoulders. So I have to get it cut off. It's driving me crazy. Hello, Cheryl. Hey, Jillian. So that is the plan. So these are the little extra shelves. One of the fibs sent me some money to help me with my room organization. I won't say the name because I haven't asked if I can tell everybody if she wants everyone to know or not. But anyway, a very nice fib sent me a little money to help me. So I said, what you sent is going to help me pay for these wire shelves that I ordered. Plus, I think I'm going to get one more light. I have a ring light. I have a ring light right here, and it's a USB. And so it has to be plugged into like either a recharging USB cable or a battery pack, external battery pack. But I also have a desk LED hot lamp right here, which I also really like. So I'm going to get one more light because I think a third light, sometimes I have more shadows than others. But I think the third light will really help. If I have so I have one here, one here. If I have one sort of just off center there, I think the third light will really help for clarity and stuff like that. No worries, Dr. Dot. Welcome, welcome. For as long as you can stay is not a problem. So these shelves are cool because, like, let's say I need the whole shelf as a double shelf, and this will divide because my bookshelves are quite high shelving units. There's at least, I'd say 14 inches because my 12-inch books sit there with plenty of space before the next shelf. So if I only have little things to put on the shelf, it's a waste of space, right? So these are technically for kitchen shelving units so that you can, for plates and bowls and stuff, you can make more space in your cabinets. Hey, Judy Patootie. So they happen to be on as an add-on for like $8 a piece, which is not bad because I went looking at them on, they were like 15 to 20 bucks a piece on Amazon. So to get them for $8 they're nice and sturdy. And what they do is you can change the length. So if you just want it single length, you can put it, oh no, I guess you can't put it in the first one. Oops. You just took it under there. So if you want it just the single length, you can. Or you can stretch it out and make it like extra long. So I figured out which wire is the 7th wire is the full length of the shelf, and I can make it different size. So if I want to use, like, if I want to have my journals on a shelf, I'm going to keep on this shelf nearest me, I'm going to keep one of my watercolor journals and one of my Dilutions journal on there. And then the rest of the shelf, I'm not going to need as much space. So I will leave the rest of the shelf space with this. Hey, Jenna. Kathy, the ones that are at our dollar store don't extend. And I'll show you the ones at our dollar store. The reason I didn't like them as much. I do have some from our dollar store, from Dollarama. But, oh, sorry, I'm knocking my... I think they were $3. So these are the ones from our dollar store, and they have the hooks here, so you can stack them on top of each other. So that's good, but the thing I don't like about them is these. Because they have these on the end, they limit the size of the item that you can put here and the size of the item like that you stick underneath it. So I do have some of these though on my black shelving units. You know, those big black ones that are for the garage and stuff. So I do have some of these, But when I saw these ones that had no restrictions here for the ends, I really liked that. So that was why I went for those ones. Hey, Jen, Twinster. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to show you was this purchase I got with this month's craft allowance plus a little bit extra. Hey, Arlene. And I'm going to use them today, actually, are the Faber-Castell Albrecht Dürer watercolor pencils. I've got these because both Vaughn and Shauna, I think it was Shauna, yeah, pretty sure it's Shauna, have them and recommended them highly. I do have Derwent's regular watercolor pencils, which are good. I like them, but they're a little pastel-y for me. They don't have quite as much as I would like. So I'm hoping that these have a little more pigment, a little more oomph. Hey, joie de fille. Welcome, welcome, Joey. Or joie. Bonjour. Well, actually, it's bonsoir. Yeah, bonsoir, Joey. Joie. Okay, so I got the 60 set because the difference in price between the 60 and the 120, to me, I have enough colors. I have enough colors here that I would ever want to use and mix what I have. I have a warm and a cool. I have warm and cool yellows. I have warm and cool reds. I have a nice double split palette. I have some lovely warm and cool blues. And some very yummy greens and teals and turquoises. And then a really nice set of your neutrals. And these are yellow, yes, but they are neutral yellows. And then your earth tones and grays. So with these 60 set, I don't have a pencil case yet for these. I'm going to have to buy a pencil case because I don't think I have room in the pencil cases I have now to put these in. Because I just reorganized all my pencil cases and I don't have any room. They're all used up. So I'm going to have to buy a pencil case. Now these, I believe, if I ever wanted to add some other in-between colors, you can buy these singly too. So if I ever want, if you want to replace one, you can replace one, etc. So, hey, CB, they are, aren't they? So I am going to use these today for the first time, and I'm going to use them when I get to the point where I'm trying to fix up some of the line work on my especially the outside shapes of my marbles. So anyway, hopefully it shouldn't take me too long, I hope, to finish this. I am not overly happy with the color of the red in this background. I like how my green turned out, but I'm not very happy with the red. It needs some depth. So to get my depth, I am going to add a layer of my lovely permanent alizarin crimson, which is just like the 2-dye-4 color of my M grams. And yeah, so it's going to get some use today. Hey, Gail. I don't know if you guys saw, but I linked Steve Mitchell, The Mind of Watercolor, his video from today. Oh my gosh, it was hilarious. I linked it on Twitter. You have to go watch it. And if you don't follow me on Twitter, or you don't have a Twitter account, go to The Mind of Watercolor on YouTube and watch his latest video. It's hilarious. I don't want to give it away. But hey, Debbie. Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right. Oops. Cover for one of my little... Okay, so I need to mix up... Oh gosh, I hope I'm not running out of baby wipes because I don't know where my cleaner put the rest of the box. Eek. I'm going to clean out this one that has some brown in it. Mix up my alizarin crimson. So I hope everyone's having a good day. I was an hour late for Dee Dee because I slept in. And then I was like an hour and a half late for Janet because I fell asleep. What a day. Okay, I'm trying to go to bed on time, but, you know, like trying to get myself into schedule. And every time I get close to a nice schedule, something goes way wrong on me. Collect my brushes here. This one and this one. And I am going to need a detail brush today. So, it's a Da Vinci one. I think I'll use that one. That should be. The thing with the detail brushes is they don't hold much paint. So you have to kind of, I'm going small, but not so small that it's not going to hold any paint for me, because then that's a pain if you have to reload. So this is a number 2 Da Vinci detail brush. Okay. Let's get mixing. Oh yeah, I want to use my, I shouldn't say cheaper brush because these are not cheap. They're Winsor & Newton Cotman watercolor brushes. And they're very nice watercolor brushes. They're actually great for, they're what I started with for good watercolor brushes before I got my Zen. They hold a decent amount of water, but not too much. They're a little firmer, but they still have really nice spring. They're still soft, but not as soft as the silver black velvet. So you still have a little bit more control than with the silver black velvet. Hi, Eileen. You're cleaning up your mess, are you? Yeah, Kathy, exactly. Like a short rigger, but not as fine as some of the, still has a really nice point. The Da Vinci brushes are nice. They have good points, and it holds its point, but it's still going to hold a decent amount. This is going to be like a wash, so I want it kind of the consistency of maybe skim milk rather than full milk or whatever. Almost like, not quite like water, so I've got to add a little bit more. Let me show you the color of this. This is to die for color. Love this color. Watch this. Okay. Hold on. So now this isn't watercolor paper, so that's why I'm like, that doesn't look like the right color. And it's like, oh yeah, that's not watercolor paper, it's just cardstock. So that's why it looks different, a little bit different, but very nice color. Hope that's going to be enough. It should be, because I just need a wash. All right. I'm going to be using my large brush here. Going to wet my red area. Actually, I think I'm going to wet it with and don't worry, it will reactivate. It will reactivate the red that's there a little bit, but it's been dry for a while. And you just don't scrape so hard that it's going to pull up. And that's the importance of using good paper, is that, you know, it will let your colors lift when you need them to lift. Okay, here we go. So I was using Pyrrole Red and Maroon Pyrroline all along, and I just want to kind of cool it down, give it a little more depth by putting a layer of this alizarin crimson over top. I'm hoping it's going to do what I want it to do. Hoping. It just didn't seem to be. All right, so let's see what that looks like once it's dry. Still going to pick up a little bit of those areas that we want to be lighter. There. I think that's going to work. We'll see once it dries. That should add just a little more vibrancy to that red. Oh, Janet. Obviously, that was a packaging error. Be sure to contact them. Contact them through Amazon. Yeah, they will correct that error, Janet. Just do a thing through Amazon, a customer complaint report, and they'll sort that out for you. Oh, okay. Okay, that has helped. I may need one more layer though of that alizarin crimson. I don't know. I like it better. I don't know if you guys can see the difference from what I started with or not, but I can. Oh, darn, that stupid wire just will not stay where I want it to stay. Arrgh. Sorry, I'm trying to get my camera to wire to stay in place, but it just doesn't want to. I'm gonna have to figure out what to do here. It's really stiff, and it's just doing what it wants to do. And now I've got it attached to my light, but it doesn't want to stay there either. Okay. Okay, let's try this. Gonna zoom in a little. Here we go. All right. See you later, Dr. Dot. Okay. Next step is my table. Now, if you look at the original picture, this is a photo by Soon Warren, who is a amazing watercolor artist. She's on Artist Network TV. And so this is one of her. Oh, let me brighten it up a little bit because it's really not that dark. But there we go. As you can see, the glass table is gray. Oh, I've got it a little bit too bright here. Hold on. There we go. So it's like a smoky gray glass table. So that is my next step. So I need to get, sorry, I don't mean to say so many so's. I need to get, I'm out of practice from my teaching days from when I know better than to use all those extra add-on. So I'm using the gray that I mixed on my own with about half and half ultramarine and burnt umber. I tend to prefer that a little bit more than with the burnt sienna. I don't know why. It's a little bit, I don't know. I find it maybe a little warmer gray. I could use neutral tint at this point as well, but at this moment, that is not really what I want. And I'm going to thin it out with water. And I'm going to go in with my flat brush and give this whole area. Uh-oh. A wet. trying to be very careful around my marble lines there. I do still have my masking fluid in place. Oh, you can see that one spread a little bit. The others did not. That's okay because it's the same color I'm going in with now anyway. I could spritz it, but I really don't want any stray spray to go over my marble edges and ruin. Not that the edges are great anyway. They need to get fixed a little bit, but I don't want to ruin them any more than they already are. All right. Actually, I think I can use this. So I'm going in with my gray, and it starts lighter out by the back edge because it's kind of backlit. So I'm not kind of putting the initial wash up near the edge. I'm kind of starting at the center and then bringing it up so that I don't get too dark up there by the back edge. Because it's a nice light gray back there. So you can see how that really dulls down those reflections, which is this table does. Now I'm going to go this way, upside down. I've got this board is on a bit of an angle, not too severe an angle, but it's on a bit of an angle. So I'm going to start here and then just fade it down with some clean water so you get a good gradiated wash there. Hey, Kimberly. Hey, Joan. Joyce said she couldn't be here, so I'm not sure if she may have like a physio appointment or one of her treatment appointments. So she told me at Janet she couldn't be live today, or I can't remember. Hey, Vaughn. No problem, Vaughn. I know all about doing stuff. All right, I think that works. So I'm going to get my heat gun. That's why I love watercolor. Because see how, we still see all those reflections, but it's very changed by this effect would be much more difficult to get, in my opinion, with acrylic. Now, granted, there are a lot of effects that you can get with acrylic that are way more difficult to do with watercolor. For example, sunsets. Sunsets are very difficult to do with watercolor. Even sunrises, because to get those yellows and oranges mixed with your blues and not end up with green is not easy. Well, I'm just happy I had one whole day of fairly decent leg. 1 week from today, I will be at the clinic. Oh, yes, I'm not sure whether I will be streaming next Monday or not, because I will be at the clinic getting shots, my injections. I should be home in time because I think my appointment's at 1. So as long as I get in on time and my ride is able to, because I have to depend on disability transit to get me home. Now this ripped, but hopefully I'm thinking I hope my I plan to hang this on my own wall. So I will have to, when I'm at Walmart getting my photos developed, I will get a frame. So I hope that gets hidden by the mat. I just couldn't waste this piece of paper because there was a little rip there when I was trying to cut it down. So it's all right. It'll look like a crack in the table. All right, now some details. I am not going to mess with that because I like it. I'm not going to do another layer. I like it. What do you guys think? I just need to do some details now, which means I need to take off my masking fluid. I need to darken up some of the white areas on these so that I can get some brighter, that's what I'm going to use the pencils for, so I can get some brighter highlights off those. See, in this picture, hold on, let me put this, I have to put my heat gun down. Woo! So in the original picture, you can see that it's a little bit darker down here, but I am not going to worry about that actually. So I think this still needs more alizarin crimson. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to go on wet right on dry. So let me mix up a little more. Hey, Burb. Hello. I don't know if you were here last week, but I did a little swatching and demo of my art sticks that you sent me. Thank you so much. And I will be using those in some upcoming videos as I test them and start seeing how I can add them to my palette. Very cool. There we go. All right. Now I'm going to leave that for a moment. Make sure I get all that alizarin crimson out of this brush. It's very staining, so sometimes it's hard to get out. Oh, okay, Barb. Hey, CB. Okay. There we go. Sorry, I didn't, you guys, I wasn't out far enough. Okay, so that still has a little red in it. Going in on some tissue now just to make sure. So I don't want to use it on my next color and end up with the red everywhere. Okay, so let's get off. I hope these all come off okay. Oh, yeah, Barb. It's gone up since I did mine. My former house that I used to live in. What I did is I had 3 companies come. I had 3 companies come. And I took the middle quote. It was crazy because the low quote I know was way too low. Like there was no way they were going to do a good job for the quote that they quoted. And then the difference between my middle quote and the high quote, it was like $5,000 difference. I'm like, really? You guys are really worth $5,000 more. It was a 42 by 36 bungalow. There was no way there should be a $5,000 difference in your quote. Yeah, exactly, Barb. But the middle ones that I got, once I decided, I thought, okay, I'm going to go for this quote. Then I researched the company. I found a couple of people that I knew who had them come, and they got high recommendations. And I'll tell you, they did such a good job. It was July. It was hot, 90, 95 degrees. So they said to me, do you mind if we come and start at 6? So we don't have to work past noon. So from 6 till noon, 2 guys, 6 till noon, 2 days. And when they were finished, there was not a stray nail in my yard. There was no stray shingles left behind. They left it cleaner than they found it. Let me tell you that. I could not have been happier. So I'll tell you, anyone I meet that needs a new roof, I give them the name of it I got. So, oh, of course, Barb. Of course it was built wrong so that you would need a complete new roof. That's a company you need to stay away from, because the end cost is probably going to double or triple when they try and tell you that in the first place, and you know better. So now you can see, with all my masking fluid off, obviously you're not going to leave it just like that. So now I need to go in and just do a little bit of, this is what I need my fine detail brush for. I just need to go in and do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Add in just a tidge of color. I need to, make all of these edges, because they're not hard edges where all these reflections are. They're soft edges. But I'm not going to do the soft edges with just plain water. All of the reflections, if you look closely, all of these reflections, like for example, this one's really easy to see on camera. See how this reflection has a blurred turquoise line around it. So instead of using plain water, okay, to feather out these edges, I'm going to use a very watered down turquoise on my brush. This one has the red. Okay, the red. So that's what I have to go through and do now. So I'm going to zoom in. So in this one, I need my red, which I have still a little bit of my red orange here in my area. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my small silver black velvet, which is a number 4, and I'm just going to wet that area. All right. And that's a little too wet, so I'm going to come in with my, I've got a leftover napkin here. I just tear it and use it. I'm not going to throw it out, and I can use it. So now I'm going to go in with my orangey red here, the same as what I used up on the actual. And I don't know if that brush is going to, I think I need a scruffier brush. Here's my scruffy brush. It's a hog hair. You have to be very careful. You don't want to mess up your paper, but it's going to scruff up that color a little bit better. Now I'll go back in. Now this also needs a little bit of lift here. And it needs a much darker. I'm going to use my small, my number 4, and my gray. Oh, darn. That was still wet, Jean, you silly girl. Now I'm going in with a clean brush. So that dark fades into the bright area there. Now I'm going to wet my white gouache here. While that's still wet, I'm just going to put a touch of white gouache. It'll fade. The first layer is going to kind of go in with the gray that's there, so it won't stay completely white, which is not what I want, what I want it to do anyway. Heat gun. Bye, Arlene. Okay. Oops, that was on high. I didn't mean to have it on high. Okay, so now down here, it needs to have, let's clean my brush. It needs to have a nice yellow highlight, because kind of the green coming through there. So what I need to do is add some yellow, but then on top of that, while it's still wet, I'm going to go in with some white gouache for the very center. So it's going to give me, it's still going to be warmer than my lemon yellow, which is why I'm doing it this way, but it's kind of give it that nice bright spot right there. And I think I did too much white, so I'm going to go back. There. All right, where else? Okay, I'm going to do these one at a time here. That one's mostly white, so that's going to stay white. But right beside it, I have a yellow one. This yellow is fairly opaque, so it's going to all right, I'm just going to see without adding any to the top of this, if this white, the biggest problem is the now I'm going to have to add a little bit of gray. So I'm going to go to my pencils here. I think, am I? No. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of my gray over here, and I'm going to really water it down. And I'm just going to go in onto this white. And yes, I was going to do this with my pencils, but now I'm going to go in because I don't want it that dark. I'm going to go over top of it with my titanium white watercolor, not the gouache. Kind of dab it as I go. I want to because I want it to still look white. One moment, please. I have to fix up some of my edges here, and I'm using my white to do that as well. All right, I'm going to put my water bottle over there. All right, so there's a difference between the titanium white watercolor and the gouache. Although the titanium white is opaque for watercolor, it's not opaque in the same way as gouache is. It would take several layers of the titanium white opaque watercolor to give you the nice bright white that you get with the gouache, which I'm going to go in now with a titanium white watercolor. And whiten up my brights there. I need to dry it before I go in with my next coat to fix that. Okay, heat gun. Hey, Lori, DeLorean. Hey, Vicky. Welcome, welcome, anyone. If I missed anyone else, if there's anyone working and lurking, no problem with that. Oops, I keep going the wrong way. Turn it off. Ugh. So biggest problem for me with these highlights is that my paper's not bright white. It's kind of off-white. So my highlights aren't showing up as much as my white highlights aren't showing up quite as much as I would like them to. Okay, I think that's good. Now, I just need to do one little thing over here on this side. Trying to fix my roundness. The roundness down here is like really bad, and I don't know if I can fix it or not. I'm going to try though. I don't know if I'm making it better or worse. I think I can fix that part of it when I do that cast shadow. All right, so let's dry that. That marble is complete. See down here in this bright area how that white titanium faded in to make kind of a glow there. There should be more red down there. So let me try that before I do the final drying here. Hello. One moment. There we go. That's a little better, I think. That's what I want it to look like. Oh, wow, Lori. All right. Now, you can see this isn't just kind of bright. I'm going to take that white. So I am going to take that gray, really watered down. Add a little water. Okay, so let's see. I'm working on this one right now. On this kind of a project, I guess. I'm picking up some of that red that went in beyond my, there we go. Round out the shape a little bit. Okay, let's get back to my turquoisey kind of gray mix here. Oh my, Jean. I think I'm going to actually, I think I might need my silver black velvet number 4 here instead of. Sorry, try and keep you guys in camera range here. So now going over it with just gray. And I'm not quite sure what happened over here. There's something on that paper. It's not allowing, that area is not taking my paint at all. And I need my detail brush again. Need to go in with some green here. Uh-oh. I need to fix right here. All right, so again, thanks, Kimberly. Hello, Julie. Trying to finish up my marbles. I thought I was going to finish them up last week, but no, that didn't happen. Okay, I'm trying to fix whatever happened weird here. I'm going to have to go over it. Oops, didn't mean to put that in that clean. With my white gouache, because I do not know what happened to that paper. It's not at all. No, that's just making it highlight more. Jean. All right. So what I have to do is use my gouache to bring this up to the value is that, I guess. And it's not like it's a fingerprint where I got oil or anything on my fingers. So it's really weird. And it's really showing up. But we'll try and just make it look like it's supposed to be like that with the marble. Now again, with my gray. And go back to my number 4 and wash that in. Fade it in. All right, so now I need to dry that and then go in with my highlights. All right. Now, just adding a little bit of red there on that corner. They still don't look round, but they're roundish. All right, now to go in with my gouache on the 2 main highlights here. Right here. Whoops. And my larger one right here. And just down below that, there is a green highlight. I am not sure. I think my permanent green pale is a little too transparent. So I'm going to go first with some of the yellow because it's a little more opaque. Then I'll go on top of that with my permanent green pale. To get that nice green highlight that's there. And there's one right up here. And I think it's going to work with just the green. So good, good, good. And then there's one right here. Woo! Big windy gust out there. Somehow I missed my green here. So I need to paint in this green area. I totally missed getting it painted in. So I'm going to do that now. Back in with that green highlight right here. There we go. All right. Let's dry that. I think I need another layer of white there. Thanks, Judy. Love my nanny cam. Oh, hold on. I'm noticing, thanks to that. I missed taking off that there. Okay. All right, so I think one more layer of the opaque white gouache here. Better. Okay. Now to work on this highlight down here. It has a turquoise. You can see around the bright white, there's turquoise in that feathering. So that has to get added. So I need to add a little more turquoise to my little palette here. Going to go in with my clean brush and I'm going to wet this area a little bit. Get that feathering started. I'm going to go in with my hog hair brush and very gently, because you don't want to destroy your paper, just scrub a little bit. And not even scrub. I'm not using much pressure. I'm just kind of letting the bristles work it, releasing that pigment around the edge of that shape there. Okay. Now, with my detail brush, I'm going to go in. I have some turquoise from my underlayer here already, but now, of course, trying to remember to look and make sure you guys have a good view. So now, once again, getting my gray here. To darken my cast shadow. There's definitely a very strong light source somewhere off camera. All right, so now I'm going to go in with my number 4. I'm just using my small brush around the edges because I'm not that great with getting straight edges, and yeah, it's just a less chance of error using the smaller tip. Oops. Not that much turquoise, Jean. Got a bit of a hard edge kind of forming right here, so need to go in and fix that. Lift it a little bit. So it's kind of a mix between getting your nice darks where you need them to show that there is a good cast shadow, but yet letting that highlight glow. Now I'm going to once again make sure this is wet. Oh, not that wet, Jean. And I'm going to go in with my titanium white, the watercolor. And just a touch of, because this is going to give me that kind of feathered, by kind of layering while it's still wet, the white and the turquoise, and then kind of let them flow together, and that will give that kind of feathered look around that area so we don't have rough edges. Okay, so it kind of gives a, see how it'll kind of give a little bit more of a feathered look. All right, so now need to work around. All right, my detail brush. In order to get this highlight down here to show up better, I need to add a little more blue down in that area. So I need, actually it's cerulean that's down there. So go in and get some cerulean blue. And just add a little more color here. First. And then go in with some white. Gouache. And let's dry that. Today is April Fool's, Judy Patootie. Did you not know that? Hey, Sophia. Working on some details here, trying to clean up my... Almost looks round. Not quite, but almost. I'm going to go in with a smidge of, this one has some white here on the edge between the background. So I'm going in with some gouache. Yeah, I just kind of blended it in more. Never mind. I can do that. right. All right, I think that one is looking good. Now my next one. This is everybody's favorite marble. Judy, that's hilarious. The funniest joke, April Fool's joke that I've ever been part of on both giving and receiving. Oh, hold on. Sorry, I'm just switching my legs. So I'm trying to bend my left knee, put my right one up on the footstool, and left leg down. Okay. When I was in grade 12, we had a great grade 12 class that it's a small group of there was 21 of us, 20 graduated, and we were really close group. We did lots of fun stuff together during Winter Carnival, Penny Parade, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, our homeroom teacher was our chemistry teacher. So we played a prank on her and turned the classroom all around backwards, facing the back. She had a lab desk at front as well as her teacher's desk because she was the chemistry teacher, and then the chemistry lab was attached through that room. And but she had a demo lab desk at the front. Anyway, so we turned our desks all around backwards because we sat in rows by alphabetical order, except for me. I got to sit at the front, in the front, of course, because I couldn't see. But anyway, and so we turned all of our desks around backwards, and we put all the stuff from her desks. We had those fluorescent light fixtures that hung down from the roof, on the rods, and they were open. So we took all of her books from the top, but we didn't go into her desk, obviously. But we took all the books and stuff from the top of her chemistry lab and her teacher's desk, and we put them up on top of these lights. No, I did not. Oh, cool. I will have to go and check that out. That's strange, Sophia. I'm sure I followed him on YouTube after you mentioned him last time. I don't remember seeing it come up in my list. Thanks, Sophia. So anyway, as I was saying, we put it, and we just sat in our desks, quiet as anything, waiting for her to come in. So she walks in the room, and she kind of stops. She doesn't say anything, and we're trying not to laugh our heads off, right? And anyway, she doesn't say anything to us. She just turns around, walks to the back of the room as if it was nothing, and does attendance and all this stuff. And we didn't have chemistry first period, so off we go. And we're all like, oh no, we're in trouble, because we knew she didn't say anything, right? And we're like, oh my gosh, we're all going to be in for detention after school. Because we didn't know. She was pretty neat, but she wasn't someone who joked around a lot, but she wasn't like a mean teacher either. So we didn't really know for sure how she was going to take this joke. Anyway, we had chemistry, I think, third period or something. So we come back in after recess, third period. And she goes, okay, put your books away. We're having a test. We had a test scheduled for the next week. She said, oh, you're having your test a week early. And we were like, oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Nobody was ready. All right. This one also has bluey turquoise in this highlight. So let's get started on that. Wet the area. Go in with my jig. So anyway, she had obviously at recess time printed off her copies of the test. And the unit we were studying was on molality and molarity, the difference between molality and molarity. Well, the funny thing was that she corrected our tests that night. Everybody's grumbling except me. And she corrected the test that day. She came in. We walked in the next day, and our seats were all turned back around the right way. Anyway, she walks in and she goes, "Okay, I have your test corrected, and good news, bad news." Well, only good news for Jean. She said bad news for everyone else. Anyway, it was hilarious because I was the only one who passed the test. I made 97, 60 was the pass. The next person closest to me made 57. Daryl made 57. I was the only one who passed, and I made 97. So everybody, we got to write the test on the day assigned, right? Anyway, and I said to her, like, do I have to write the test? I'm pretty happy with my 97. So she didn't make me write the test the next week. Well, I didn't know if probably if I'd known I was going to be the only one to pass, I probably would have done worse on purpose just so I wouldn't be. I had no idea no one else would even pass the test. There were 3 or 4 kids who were like smarter than me in chemistry. Like, anyway, my thing was I learned by auditory learning. I didn't have to study a lot of things, a whole lot. Like history, I did. I had to study history because there's so many facts. But molality and molarity had to do with math. So if you understood the formula and you understood what it was, then you understood it and could do it, right? And so I had learned it. I had picked it up. So I knew how to do the test without studying. And it was just, anyway. So, all right. So a little turquoise and a little blue in here. Oh, I've got to rough up the edges there a little bit. And I put the turquoise on the wrong brush, so I just used it. Just went with it, just go with it. Now I'll go in and darken up my cast shadow. Oh no, Gail. Oh, sorry. Bye, Gail. I hope no one else is buffering. Usually people tell me if there's an issue with buffering. But anyway, that was the best. That was the best April Fool's joke I was ever part of. It's hilarious. And she told us later. Our teacher, Mrs. Gunn, was her name with 2 N's. And her husband was our guidance counselor. Anyway, she did tell us later that it was all she could do not to laugh her head off when she walked in the room. But she wanted to, pay us back, right? So she said it was all she could do not to pay us back, and that it was the best joke ever played on her, which is why she tricked us with got back at us with the test. But anyway, yeah, it was funny. How do I remember it? That part just I don't remember necessarily what molality and molarity are now, but I remember that was the unit we were doing at the time. I do remember that. It's just so funny. And I graduated high school in 1980. So next year is going to be 40 years. Yikes. We had a 25th reunion, so we are planning our 40th already for 2020 Canada weekend. So that's going to be fun. We were such a small school back then. We used to have just like multi-year reunions. So you would always have your reunion on the every 5 years kind of thing. So every year they'd have reunions, but it would be like the classes of every 5 years. So I'm really trying not to mess up this because I know that it's kind of everybody's favorite, including mine, marble. So I really don't want to mess up a good thing. Okay. When they collected. Oh! Oh no, Sophia. Oh no, that's terrible. Oh, poor guy. Okay, so that bottom part is done. I'm going to dry it because I really don't want it to move any more than that. And I need to add a little bit more white, but I'll do that now that it's dry. By the way, I am loving my new heat gun, just so you all know. Okay. So I think all right. So as I was saying, I think my color on this one is okay. I do need to add a little bit of a highlight of my permanent green pale up here. Oops. Hold on. think I just need to go in with white. Because the paper's just not. No, I'm going to need to do just a little bit more of that turquoisey teal, I think, here. Wash with some gray. Only not that dark, so I need to get a little more water involved here. Spread it out a little bit. I need some phthalo green here. With my detail brush. Hold on a minute, guys. Sorry about that. And let me pull it. There we go. You can see a little better what I'm doing here. I know this is too dark, but I'm going to go over it with white in a second. While it's still wet, go in with some opaque white titanium. Make sure I have a clean well. It looks like I sprinkled something in it. I'm also trying to clean up some of these edges while I'm doing this. Oh, shoot. So this is once again the white, titanium white, opaque watercolor, which is not as opaque as my gouache. So it will blend with my kind of grayish turquoise that I used there. Bye, Jen Twinster. See you later. Thanks for coming. Yep, that's right. They go in for the kill is right when they sense the weakness. That's what mean girls do. Now for the opaque. There we go. Okay. Now, all right. So let's see. Is there any other details I need to fix up a little bit here? I'm liking these highlights reflections there. Okay, I need a bright reflection there. Right there, that needs to go. There's one right here. Let's fix the shape a little bit here on this side. So I'm using my grayish turquoise mix that I made to kind of blend to that edge a little bit. There we go. All right, I think that one's done. Done. Heat gun. Oops. Well, all I can say is like on that whole thing, Joan and Sophia, is all I can say is like I just can't believe it. I can't believe it. You know, I mean, I've heard of ineffective parliaments and governments before, but this ineffective, I'm not sure that's a strong enough word. And I shall say no more because we try not to take politics into this too much. But eesh. Hey, Joycey! Super 7, ta-da is my nickname for her. This poor little marble. Okay, I'm going to try and fix his roundness first. The roundness that is not this marble at the moment. So I'm trying to just get a little highlights in here because I messed them up in the first place. Okay, so, but that's all right. All right, so this one here I need to try and fix. So let's go in. Just trying to see. I think yeah. Anyway. I'm going to try and lift some of the red that's here to get my roundness back. There we go. Ooh, that almost was a error. Got a little too red there. There we go. That's better, I think. Okie dokie. Now, what are the... Okay, down here, I made a little bit of a deeper orange happening here. So I'm going to take a little bit of my gray and a little of my orange. Get a little bit of some deeper color in here. Just get a little depth in this part of the marble. That looks a little greenish. Oh well, it's all right. All right, I need to get a little bit more blue down into the bottom of this right here. Woo! Sorry, guys. Let's move that up a little bit. Now that I'm down on the, working on this bottom part now. In order to get that highlight to show up a little better, we need to get a little bit more blue in here on this underside. Okie dokie. Ooh, Vic Crystal Extra Precision Pens. So those gel pens, Joycey? Ah, Joycey got some goodies. Oh, okay. Ugh, I've got a little red in my clean water. That could be not too bad. I still do like this. This is everybody's favorite marble, and I do like it. All right, sorry. We're on this one now. Move on, Jean. Move on. All right, so now we need to do this glowy thing down below, and it's got green. It has green on this close side from this green, and it has blue down there. So let's do our wetting. Wet this area. Come in with my gently and carefully with my hog hair brush. This is 300-pound paper, so it can take more than, some papers. If I was using 200 or 140-pound paper, I probably wouldn't use my hog hair brush. I'd probably just use a stiff, acrylic brush. But I know that this paper can take it, so I just want to get those harsh edges to start to be willing to move away for me. Okay, so now go in with a little more water. So once again, it is green up nearest the marble. And it's not my green permanent, it's like the sap green, which you can see from some of the underlayers already. And then some of the blue, which I'm going to use turquoise just because it kind of, in the translation, the turquoise works best rather than the cerulean. It translates once you add the gray. It kind of translates nicely. Then in with a little bit of the white watercolor, not the gouache, and let it kind of feather out in with that green. And if you put a little too much like I did, I'm going to go back in with a little green and let it feather in. A little turquoise. Let it feather in and out. While that's doing its magic, I will go in with my gray, darken up the cast shadow. This cast shadow continues from the one beside it here. I should have really painted them at the same time, but yeah, I didn't think of that far ahead. So this is multiple layers working. Glazing and not glazing. Glazing technically is when you're working wet on dry for your multiple layers. So some of this is technically not glazing because I'm working wet on wet for some of it. Oh, I don't want to touch that because I love that highlight. I love how that's working And I just need to take some of my green permanent and try and get some highlights up here. I might have to do that later once it dries. I'm actually going to go in with my heat gun right now because I don't want this to continue moving. I like what it looks like right now. So I'm going to dry it. Hey, Sharon. Hello, hello, hello. I am going to get this finished today. I only have like 3 marbles left. Woohoo! And I'll sign, and actually I'm going to sign, and I won't sign and date it till I get my frame, so I know where exactly to put my signature. Thanks, Judy. Poor Barb. Did I steal all your marbles, Barb? I'm sorry about that. Oh, Sharon, no worries. I know some people have real lives going on around them. One moment, please. Switching legs. Trying not to groan. Oh, but it's hard. So my sister and I made our plans for my next visit to Nova Scotia. Originally, I was planning to go from Wednesday to Wednesday with Easter break in the middle. However, my niece is taking the kids. Here, schools don't have, there's no school on Easter Friday, on Good Friday, or Easter Monday. So it's a long weekend, 4-day weekend. So they're going, Stacia, and like Stacia's girlfriend lives in Amherst, and her son Noah's there too. And one of the choirs, the semi-professional choir that Stacia sings in, the choir director is the organist and choir director actually in a church in Amherst where Shara lives. So he invited her to sing a solo in his church on Easter Sunday. So it worked out perfectly. So she's bringing Till and Eliza to Amherst for that part. Well, at least until Easter Sunday. I'm not sure. They may come down to Westville after the church service, since I'm going to be there now anyway. So what my older sister's going to do, she's going to come up here on this Saturday, stay overnight here. Then we'll head to Amherst, which is about an hour from me, towards my sister's home, back towards home. And so we're going to go to that church service and hear Stacia sing her solo. Then I'll head with my sister to home. Then I'll have that week and the next weekend with Till and Eliza. I mean, they're finished of school and they're home from school by like 2:45. So I'll still have quite a few hours in the evening, each evening with them. And maybe they'll come home after the church service. Maybe they'll come with us after church. Who knows? That would be nice. All right. So I'm working on this yellow one now. So first thing I want to do is try and fix up with my detail brush here some of the edges. I don't know if I helped. I made that worse. Yeah. Okay, so I need to do a little bit of, hold on, let me get you into frame here. Okay. Welcome back, Dr. Dot. I'm working on there. I'm getting close. I just have to finish these, and then I just have to finish these 3 here. And then I have to finish up these ones down below, and then I'm done. Almost done. I am going to finish it today. Okay, try and make sure you guys are on screen, or make sure my marble's on screen, I should say. All right, so let's bring that color down. I should have pre-wet it. It would have probably worked a little better. That's the thing I find about the silver black velvet. It's kind of hard to do this. I still find it a little bit more difficult to do this kind of precise work because the fibers, the hairs, whatever they're called, are so lovely and flexible that it is hard to get them to work your edges, you know what I mean? Which I do a lot. But I think it's mostly still technique that I have to work on, and I haven't been painting every day, which doesn't help. I do feel my head coming out of this winter funk that I have been in. So that is all good. So now it is to get my habits back of playing every day. And of course, once I get my desk in order, all right, this is white gouache because my page is not bright white. So I just need to add a little gouache to help those be a little bit more. And I think I need to go over that with a little bit of the white titanium because it is just not. And I just want it to be a light wash of white. It's just a little too. I still want it to look like a dirty white part of the marble. So this will dry up a little more transparent than it looks like going on. Putting it on wet, it'll soak in some of the color from underneath, but it will lighten it up some. And of course, if I was a true classic watercolorist, you guys can't see those highlights as much as I can in real life. They're kind of, let me see if I can take down some of that. There we go. Okay. All right. So what else do I need to do to this one? All right. These two highlights down here, I need to do just a little bit of work on. Get some yellow streaks going. So I'm going to drop in some of my white titanium watercolor and then go around the edge with some of that gold color and let them feather in just like I've been doing on the bottom. For some reason, these ones are feathering more than some of the other highlights. I don't know why. Just the way the marble is, I guess. So I've got a little bit of wet gold around there. Then go in with, I'll fix that on the other edges in a minute. Drop in the white. Let it feather. That doesn't like to move as much as the other colors did. So let's put a little more in wet. Now I need to fix these edges so they don't end up hard. I just need to wet the rest of that yellow area so that they'll blend up. Okay, good. Going to go in with just a little bit of, I'm going to use my smaller brush actually. Titanium, or not, excuse me, my white gouache this time. Oops. Oh, darn. I think I'm almost done because I just put that white in my clean water and it really, the gouache really infects your water, just so you know. Come on, spread like you're supposed to. I can fix this part down here when I do my... All right, I'm going to have to add a little more white after that dries. So let's dry it. Night, Sophia. Okay, Vaughn. Oh, she's probably gone by now anyway. Look how great. Look how cool those look. I think they look cool anyway. Those reflections, I think they look neat. They don't look exactly the same as they do on the real one. Okay, now I think what I need to do, the three of these cast shadows are kind of one. So I think I'm going to need to work on them at the same time. So I'm going to fix up any spots here that need some details before I go down and work on these. They need to be done at the same time. What did I have in that yellow mix? I used my yellow. I used the gamboge and some nickel quin gold in this gold. So whatever's in those, it's probably the quin gold that's a little heavier and not allowing that gold kind of spread the same way as these other colors did. I'm not positive on that. Don't quote me, but I think that is it. Hold on. I see a green permanent green highlighty thingy that I messed up here. All right. I'm going to mix a little bit of permanent green pale beside some white gouache. There. Okay. All right, what has to go on here? First of all, I need to get a little piece of paper ready here. So I need to fix this. I've got some red into that area that shouldn't be there. So I just need to get rid of it. See if I can get it picked up. I'm going to use my hog hair scrubby here. Oh, I wonder where my clean sponge thingies is. That's what I need. It's my eraser sponges, but this will work too. And very light touch. Guys, I'm not scrubbing the paper away. And now I'm going to dry that spot so that when I go back in and add my color, that red doesn't spread over again. Haha, Judy stole my keyboard. Okie dokie. All right, so there is just a little bit of, I need to wet this area. Okay. So I am also trying to get my sleep schedule back track a little bit better so that I can be a better fib and get back to streams again, being part of a stream chat. That is the plan anyway. can definitely feel exactly where that masking fluid was, because even though the masking fluid's off, it really doesn't want to take any of those darker pigments, which is, that's good, because it helps me get the highlights back in the right spot since okay, so that's that one. There is, I think that yellow highlight needs just a little bit of my white watercolor, titanium white, just to brighten it just a smidge right here. Now that's not going to dry as white as it looks there. It'll yellow down a little bit. The yellow will come through. Welcome back, Vaughn. Yeah, Debbie. And this winter's just been crazy since my CPAP got left on the bus at Christmas time. So it has just ruined my sleep again. In case some of you guys were wondering why. It's been part of my issue this winter. And it was in a case that someone probably thought a laptop was left on the bus. So it didn't get turned in, of course. So it has not been found. And I'm still waiting for word on whether my insurance company will cover another one, because usually it's one every 5 years. These machines are expected to last 5 years. But even if I do get it covered with my insurance company, I still have to pay 20%. So it'll still cost me $400. About. So anyway, it was my mistake. It's a stupid mistake. And sometimes you pay more for stupid mistakes than you do for planned mistakes. But anyway, that's what happens. Okay. So I really need to fix the area up here. Let me move my... I need to fix the area between these. So going in with my detail brush here, trying to fix the shape here. And I didn't get quite all the way down there. There we go. This side. Oops, sorry guys. When you're zoomed in this much, you have to keep. So now this side, I need to fix this side here with the green. So I just fixed this with the red a little bit. So I got some red down over here. So I've got a little bit of mud, but I'm going to go over it a little bit with, I'm going to take, one moment, need to wet my sap green here again. So I'm going to take a little bit of sap green and let's find a good spot here in my little rose petal dish. And I'm going to mix a little bit of the white gouache in with it to make it a little bit more opaque here. To go over that spot. And then it needs a little gray because that was actually kind of gray-green, not green. All right. That kind of helps that area. Now I need to go in with just the green down here and fix this edge. So I'm not actually fixing, I'm fixing the background rather than the actual marble. There, on that edge. Okay. Now on the marble here, though, I need to fix the marble area here. One moment. I need to see the color. Oh, yes. Okay. So it's kind of a yellowish green that's being mixed there in that spot. So I'm just going to do a quick little mix. Okay. Although, now that I turn it this way, I still went a little too. No, Jean, you gotta dry it, you silly girl. Hold on. One moment, please. I need to dry it. You done. My CPAP, Vaughn. I lost my CPAP machine. I left it on the bus. And it was Christmas time. So everyone was busy. I called the bus driver in each stop along the way, and he would not check my seat till he got to the last stop and everybody get off the bus. And of course, by then it wasn't on the bus anymore. So anyway. Hey, Jelly. Yeah, Vaughn, that's been the reason why my sleep this winter's been so nuts, because once again, I'm going through what I went through before I had my CPAP. Sleeping in it good. I mean, you can sleep for 12 hours and you may as well have slept for one, because that's about how effective it is. Okay. All right. What else do I need to do to this one? The highlight's showing up fairly well on this one, although it just needs a little whitened. So I'm just going to go in with my gouache. And I'm going to take it into the blue area so that it kind of shows up even more. Because that one goes into the blue area. And there's a bit of a highlight spot right there. There's a highlight spot right here. Just highlight white right along here. One moment. All right, why are you not coming out? One moment. Ugh. There we go. Go back in with my number 4, wherever it is. Oh, there it is. Ah. So, in case you guys missed it, tomorrow morning when I get up and get dressed, I'm going to get my hair cut. So, I don't know if I'll make it to Kathy's tomorrow morning or not. Try to be home in time for okay, just before I do this. I just need to add more green to this one because it's just not green enough here. So I'm going back in with a little more sap green. Just want to brighten up the green a little bit more, especially in these areas where there's a little more color right here. Just give it a little more definition. Okay, so and down in the highlight area, though, it's blue that's there, not green, a little cerulean. I need a little water. Water evaporates quick these days. Go in with some white gouache. Probably should be doing this with my detail brush and not my white one. So I'm going to switch out. So once again, wetting it with gouache. Going in with my blue around the outside to let it feather in with the gouache. If the blue travels too far, go back in the center with more white. Let them feather together. And then I'll go in with my white dot at the end for the brightest spot. Oh, Vaughn. Now that is a deal. Definitely a deal. Okay, so you can see the lovely blue there, but I do need a very nice, brighter white spot in the very middle so that it looks like a highlight and not just a color. So I'm going in with a very thick white accent. Okay. All right. So now what do we have? All right. So under this one, we have a blue. Oh, this is the bottom of the. Oh. Okay. So I totally malformed that. All right, let's fix that. I need to pick that up. I need to use my. That one is actually the bottom of the marble. I might have to put gouache over that to fix that shape. So I'm going to have to put gouache and then let it dry. See if I can get it shaped properly because there's supposed to be blue down here on the bottom of this marble underneath the green. And somehow I missed seeing it completely. So went up too high with that gray table or cast shadow, I should say. Okay. Oops, went up a little too high on that. It's okay, I'll get it up. Okay, so now I'm going to dry that because I'm going to need one more layer of white gouache on that to fix it. Oops, get that in the right spot. Yeah, unfortunately, Elisa has gotten past that I want cuddles part. She's a big girl now, and you're lucky if you get a hug at this point. Oh dear. She's funny. They both got their report cards back. Their second term. There's 3 terms. They got their second term report cards back. And of course, they both did awesome, as expected. Kimmy is expert Swiffer. Wow. Who knew? Obviously, Judy did. They're finally looking like marbles, guys. Finally. Finally looking like marbles. Although this poor guy looks like, yeah. He looks like he's a bit of a warped marble. He's not even close to round, but what can you do? If I try and fix it, I'll just make it worse. All right, so now here, down here, this is blue highlight. So I'm going to go in with some gray right here, then right into the blue. Let those go together. Some blue there. A little bit of blue along the green. Then add in a little of the white gouache. See how it moves. If it doesn't move enough, add a little, or if it moves too much, go back in with a little bit of blue. Layer it till it starts blending the way you want it to. So you get a really nice highlight. Need a little darker on either side so that the highlight shows up as a highlight. That's the trick. You need to have a little bit of color so that the highlight has something to compare against. And the trick with these glass highlights is that it's not like you're going to have white in the middle of black. These ones, yes. But on your marbles, not so much. Thanks, Sharon. Hey, Ashley. Oh, no. What university is she going to, Jilly? And is she graduating? Is this her last year? Tell all. I want to know all of it. So this one is the same over here. I'm going to go in and wet the space. Oh, it needs a little more white. So blue, then my gouache. Now I can go back in on this one with more gouache to brighten up the whitest spot, the center spot. Okay. Same thing here. Get a little more blue around the highlight. Dry it. Of course, maybe you don't want to say on chat which university your daughter's going to, which is fine. It was a silly question for me to ask online. All right, go back in with a touch more of white. Oh, all right. I'm almost at my 3 hours here, but that's okay. I'm going until I'm done. If everyone is okay with that, you have to leave for supper. No worries. I won't disown you. Okay. So now, need to do these three. All right, these two have yellow. And this one is mostly just white, but I think I'm going to put just a touch of blue in it. All right, so let's do this one first. Wet the highlight area. Go in with my hog hair. Just for some gentle agitation of the pigment. Go in with some of my gold. Go in with some gouache. Back in with some gold. Back in with a little gouache. All right, now before I can do that, I have to do these other highlights because these three cast shadows are all one. This is supposed to be all one, and it didn't quite turn out looking like one because I stopped at this one. These two should have been done as one. So I'm going to do these highlights. All right, I need some quinacridone gold. Sorry, I had to add a little gamboge to that. All right, coming in with my Okay, now this one is mostly just white, but I am going to just add a touch of blue because I think it should have blue in it. Because that's what's on the bottom. And that's what actually it would probably be more a little green. Let me zoom in a little. Oh, there's actually a touch of gold in it. So let's go in with my the shape of this one's not too bad actually. Oh. Oh, okay. Oh, oh yeah, okay. I know what university then. I think I can guess because I know where you live. So, all right. So just this one just has a touch of gold. And I'm going to put a touch of green on that too. Simply because I think it would be there. All right, gonna dry it. There's my 3. Jilly, is that not the truth or what, eh? They find out how tough it is when mommy's not making supper and cleaning up the dishes, or mommy and daddy, I should say. You know? Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, put it the wrong way. She's doing well, though, Judy, considering, I should say. I hope. I think it's very positive that she went to you, is getting help, because too many young girls don't ask for what they need because they think they need to be strong and they need to be, so. And also learning that she's worth way a lot more than that, because that's part of the problem too. The girls, they think they deserve it. They think that they're not worth something better. All right. Let's do my cast shadows here. All right, now I'm going in with my clean. It's kind of a two brush method where you have one that has pigment on it, one clean with water that you can go in right away. Okay, have my second brush ready and clean for the next one. So laying down the pigment around the shape, then going into the clean damp brush to work it in, blend it down. Hey Jilly, are you watching Big Brother Canada? Love Big Brother Canada. Oh, it's the wrong, put the pigment down with the wrong one, so now I've got to clean it. Trying to get a little darker over this gold there. There we go. All right. I like. Leave it, Jean. Leave it be. Woohoo! Okay. Let's move back. Ta-da! Oops, I zoomed too much. I didn't want to zoom that much. One moment, please. Yeah, there we go. Thanks, Dr. Dot. So now all I have to do is, doesn't that make a huge difference? Like, now they look like glass. and it's these cast shadows and the glow that makes the rest to look like glass. Thanks, Sharon. Thanks, Judy. All right, so now I just need to do a similar thing with these as up here, because it's just these highlights popping down on the table. So thanks, Eileen. All right, so now I've got to go down and do, it's not quite as detailed. I just need to feather the edges and soften up they're white. So I think I can do this with my, you know what? I'm actually going to try one moment. I'm going to try this. This is a rolling nickel Zen, but it's a different Zen line. It has an all silver brush. My other Zen ones have black with a white and then the red white stripe with a red tip. This is all, this was like a detail set. And so this is a filbert tip. So I'm going to see if this is stiff enough to help my edges here. So I can shape this a little bit. It has just a little bit of green. Yeah, that's going to do the trick. But I'm also going to have to because I don't want blooms, I'm just going to kind of wet this whole area while I work. And there's a little bit of green up in here. And I'm going to do the same thing I did before. Go in with some white and let it commingle with that wet gray that's around it now. Come in with an actual little gray maybe. And brush it out. There. Okay. Boy, not a little steps to get this to look the way I want it, but it's going to work. One moment, I need to spritz my gray up here. Because I ran out of gray, but I don't want to have too much here because I don't need a lot more. But I am going to need some. All right. Okay, I should zoom in a bit. Oh, wait, hold on. I don't want to zoom with this one because it is my full page one. Let me go back to this one. All right, so I did that one and I did that one. Now I'm going to work on this one. So it has a little wee bit of green, and it actually has, it's a slightly different shape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in. I didn't get the shape right with my masking fluid, so I'm going in with a little bit of white gouache. I'll probably need another layer. Oh, really, Jilly? Cool. Okay, so now, before I go in, I'm going to dry that area. What? What? The palette has new colors? They're not the colors that are in the 72 blocks, Jilly? I didn't realize that. You shouldn't have told me that. Oh, gosh. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. That one, that one. Oh, yeah, okay, so I'm on this one. Okay. All right, so there's some green. Oh, I already have some green, but I have to add it into the... So, going into here, I'm going to wet the area. Touch of green. Back in with my white. Let them feather together. And a smidge of gray. Oh, and a bit too smidge too much gray, Jean. Well, Jean. Let's try that again. White. Green. There. It's a little big still. Oh, now, what happened to this one? It's totally gone. All right, so I need to go in with... Oh, that's right. Because it was in the wrong spot, I took off the... it was way down here. So I took off... So I'm going to just paint this one in. So for another time, I need to know that it's just easier to paint these in instead of leaving them off. Now that I have gouache to do that with, that's okay. This one has no color beside it, but I have to fix the shape of the larger one. It's not the right shape. And I need to make it white instead of off-white color. And I just need to do a little gray around it because it's a little bit too much of a circle. It's more of a oval highlight. There we go. And the last one, I already have the yellow there. So same as the last one, just needs to be whitened up, and I need to fix the shape. So go in with my detail brush and fix the shape. Get some gray in there. Feather out this gray with my filbert so I don't get a bloom. Because it's a glass table, I really don't want it to have any blooms on it if I can help it. A little bit more white, then I can dry it, and I am done. So I'm going to dry this and see if I need to add any white, if it's blended too much. This one is just not cooperating, so I'm going to dry it and then I'm going to add a little gray. Sorry. Oh no, Sharon. Welcome back. Yeah, I knew that's what you meant. I knew that's what you were talking about, the pans, but Jilly said that the pans have different colors than the blocks. Are they new colors or are they the same color as the blocks, but just in a pan? Oh, well, that's good, Sharon. Thanks. Okay. So I just need to fix the shape a little bit with some gray here. See if I can do it without making a total mess. All right, I best leave it. All right, I think it's good. Let's zoom out. Okay, so if you were here at the beginning, you can see that that red isn't as dull anymore. The alizarin crimson, I put 2 layers of alizarin crimson over top, and it just kind of enriched that color very nicely, actually. Oh, sorry. I think I need both my knees down now. Oh. My knees are, I need my legs up for my lymphedema, but then my knees lock. So I need to kind of switch up and down. No, Jillian, you shouldn't have told me that. Okay, so there we go. I will sign it once I get a, this is for myself. I'm going to finally keep one of my paintings and put it up on my wall. Couldn't sell it anyway because it's based on a paid for lesson, so couldn't sell it anyway. But for myself. So thank you everyone for coming to my stream. I'm so happy that I finally finished my marbles. It's exciting stuff, you know, when you finish things. So thanks a lot. Oh, by the way, before you go, I am going to stream on Thursday. So Kathy, if you're still here, I'm going to, since it's April, I think I'm ready to start streaming again on my Thursdays. And I think I'm going to try, not sure what I'm going to try, but I'm going to try something. My desk should be in shape by then, I hope. We've got a storm coming on Wednesday, like rain and possibly a little snow mixed in. So who knows what my Wednesday, but I hope to get my shelves all sorted and organized by Thursday. So I might even do some scrapbooking. We'll see. Okay? Thanks, everyone. See you Thursday.